like Popeye on the spinach, double M, yeah, that's my team. Rose, the captain, I'm lieutenant. I'm the type can the men cast and grind.
What's up, fam? Y'all already know it's your girl, Lisa, and I'm rocking with your girl, Nikita Love, and we back better than ever. And we got a special co-host today rocking with us, Miss Latoya Bird, also known as the illustrator and author of Good News Goose. Thank you for coming in and rocking with us today.
You're welcome.
Y'all already know it's No Cap Miami. We keeping it real in the county a day, so y'all keep it tuned right here. And Keita, go ahead and tell them what we talking about today.
All right, fam. So today's topic is, how high or low are you willing to go to reach your goals?
That's a tough question, especially with all that we see in media, like, you know, what you're doing behind closed doors to get to where you want to go.
Truly.
But nobody really talks about how high you willing to go, like how hard you're willing to rock. We always know how low people are willing to go. So, how high would I be willing to go? The sky's the limit. And I think sometimes we underestimate, you know, our personal goals because we don't push ourselves. Like, there's nobody there. You know, all these self-made life coaches on Instagram, hey, how y'all doing?
They talk about the glory part, but they don't talk about the ugly road to that beautiful destination.
The sacrifices.
That part.
And so sometimes people try to get a shortcut. That's why they'll go low.
That.
And what about
that's deep. I like the way you put that.
What about the controversy with both men and women who do things on a low level, low vibratory rate when it comes to sex for business favors or, hey, let me in the door. I'm going to let you in if you let me in the door. What? So
that's real.
I think it comes down to people's morals and what they are willing to do, and it comes down to their dreams and how hard they're willing to fight. So.
And I like how when, like you're saying, like people really focus on how low someone's willing to go, because that's what stands out the most in your mind of people trying to do something sneaky to get to where they want to be.
And they forget to acknowledge the real grinders.
I feel like people don't really speak about on how hard you're willing to go, because that makes you have to reflect on yourself. Like you gonna really look yourself in the mirror and be like, dang, I procrastinate a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, people have so many excuses for why they can't really reach their goals, and they want to piggyback off of, I'm not willing to go so low.
And I think that's real when it comes to parents. Like, as a parent, I took this discussion. I was like, when I think about everything I'm pressing for, you think about how high and how low you're willing to go. I feel like I'm not willing to go low and degrade myself, but I'm definitely willing to go harder to surpass like the boxes that they put us in. Society, it makes us think as like parents, you have to put, you know, your dreams on pause. I'm willing to go harder until whatever, you know, climax the Lord, you know, put my feet at and keep pressing, because as parents, it's get hard. You have to sacrifice. You have to, when you think about how high you want to go, you think about, I got offered to potentially go out of town for my job, and I was like, this is a great opportunity. That's a level up. But when I think about it as a parent, that's good for somebody when you don't have kids, you're still young. But as you get older, you gotta, are you willing to take that sacrifice, willing to go out there wherever the Lord is trying to send you, because there might be another opportunity out there. So I think about, am I really willing to go that high and sacrifice time away from my kids and away from my normal atmosphere and go out there and see what other opportunity than the one that the Lord is disguising behind an employment job is out there and another turf for me to think about on entrepreneurship levels. Yeah, expansion. So I think about, it's only a brief little intermission of my time, but it's time that I have to sacrifice to elevate away from my normal settings. And my kids is like, am I willing to do that? Or I'm going to pass up the opportunity because it's a sacrifice as a parent, you know, leaving the nest. And whether you have little birdies behind, or it's just your normal, your atmosphere that you scared to leave out of. You know, you used to something. It's a scary thing, transitioning and going to the next level.
While working somebody, they used to always ask, you have to have a why. When you're trying to push towards something, your goals, you have to have your why. You got to focus on your why. But most people, they allow their why to also be their excuse why they don't. You know, so it's like, oh, I got kids, and that's why I'm fighting. I'm fighting so hard for my children, but then you use your kid as an excuse why you can't get up and go do what you need to go do.
A lot of people do that. That's true.
Come on. I'm reading a book right now called The Atomic Habits. And I can't get the author. I'm going to look it up for y'all.
Define atomic.
Atomic habit means like the smallest minute thing that you can do habitually to see a huge change
Truly.
over
That's
time.
deep.
So if I'm willing to go high, if I'm willing to go hard for what I want,
What is that little thing you're willing to go low to
maybe not low, but that little thing I'm willing to
Sacrifice
or do different.
that?
So let me let y'all in on a secret. So this past week, the little thing that I decided to do different was invest in a trainer.
Yeah, you're telling me a little bit about it. So-
Girl, I wanted to drop out today. My last day is Thursday. Okay, I only paid for a week. But what did I get in that incremental every day, every morning at 10? Now I'm learning the routines. Now I'm learning that I don't need a
Structure.
trainer. Right. Accountability.
Yeah.
All these little things that lead up to me getting to where I want to go. Right. So to the people that are out there grinding, you got to have some self-evaluation. You got to look at where you're at, reevaluate your why constantly, because it's just like with love. We about to get into it. Okay, wait.
Go ahead. Because love is deep when you think about how low and how high. Because I think about in this season, seeing a lot of stuff manifest in my entrepreneurship, like my business life. I'm at a low point in my love life, and I realize it's never gonna be perfect. You can't have it all. Like, yeah. So I feel like while God has accepted me on one level, I'm definitely seeing that neglect and that rejection on another level. And it's like the Lord keeps telling you it's not your season. You're going to find that person when you get to where you're going. And it makes me realize sometimes when you're going after your dream, your destiny, everybody say you're going to lose few people, you're going to let some people go. But it also, what I'm trying to gravitate my point to, it also what was it?
What you're pointing out is the fact that you have to have an affirmation, a transformation, and then you will see it in the manifestation. So if you're willing to go high or low, by the way, that's the name of a business team that I'm a part of.
Okay.
If you're not doing that atomic habit of speaking life to yourself, to your children, to your dream, what you doing? You might need to shut up if you're not talking right. So like pushing that part out, and you'll realize what your why is on a daily basis as it will evolve and change.
And then I feel like moving forward, you understand that you're not gonna always like you. Look,
You got it.
I'm losing my thought as I'm talking
Because it's
just
so
annoying
deep.
me. I realize like sometimes you're gonna want certain things in certain seasons in your life, and you have to change, like you said about like preparing yourself. You might want love in a season, but when you're going after your dreams, sometimes you have to put that on hold and define yourself and know where you want to be. So when you find that soulmate, they won't detour you from what that destination is that you're trying to achieve for your
It'll be
personal self.
enhanced.
Yes,
And then you'll know whether or not how high or how low you willing to go for love. Because if you not in your season and you going low hard for a dude and not
you're
hard
where
for
you wanna be,
yourself.
that part. That's what point
Like,
I'm trying to make.
So
Yeah.
it's some ladies out there, it's some men out there that need to hear that. How high or low are you willing to go for the relationship? Is it worth investing in? How high or how low have you gone for yourself? So like, it's just about that evaluation part, because I might be willing to risk getting a ticket going 100 miles per hour if I need to get in front of somebody for an opportunity, or in front of somebody because we need to connect, or you gotta,
That's real.
the balance of it all. So what are y'all willing to risk to get what y'all want?
Which is a great question, because too, people despise the low part, because when you say how low you're willing to go, you think of it in a derogatory sense, but it's not just there in a derogatory sense. It's also like, get down to the nitty gritty. Like, what are you really willing to do?
Would you get your nails dirty? Because sometimes we like to keep it cute and classy, but when you building a brand and a business or doing
But also
anything,
the
you got to
footwork.
get that. Yeah, you
People
gotta
like to jump
get
and
in
skip the steps and be like, now I'm the boss, because now I'm
Yeah.
doing my own thing, I'm the boss.
But you ain't get out
You gotta
there.
be an entrepreneur. You gotta be
You gotta be the worker
you
before
gotta be
you can be the-
self-employed before you become the boss. And
Truly.
you want to skip them steps.
Rich
Yep,
dad, poor
that
dad
part.
quadrant. You gotta go through them quadrants
Like
before
this-
you get to the investor,
Like
which
I
is where we
heard
want
a
to go.
wise woman say, the greatest leader was once a follower. You know what I'm saying? You have to crawl before you walk, like we say. But you can't know how to be a great boss if you haven't been a great teacher, if you haven't been a great learner, and take what you've got through experience to be able to show other people and lead them the right way.
Come on, I'm all about teamwork. I'm a part of a team in business. I was a teacher before, and so I always hear the word leadership thrown around. And so think about the leaders in your life. How high or low do you think they've gone to get in that position? And is that something that you want to do? And so for me, I was like, man, what do I want to do for my team? I'm willing to go. If it take me eating oodles of noodles so I can save to get to where I want to go, if it take me going natural and, you know, reusing this hair over again, if it take me, you know, if it takes me, if the sacrifice is going to get me greater gains on a positive note, I'm all with it. Let's go.
And
Right,
we
as long
think
as
when you
moral, legal, and ethical.
And when
That
you
could be
think,
the line
when you
right
spoke about the teachers, I feel like when you spoke about teachers, I feel like teachers are taking their choice of how low or how they willing to go
Right
being a
now.
part of that field, because if they can't handle the position right now where it's at with the online, they making a double thought about whether that's the field, the career field they want to go in, because it's getting real intense.
You speaking life right now. So whoever thinking about being in education, let me tell you how low you about to go.
Look,
You about to go so low that you're going to be paying about $1,000 in taxes every 2 weeks. You're about to go so low that your student loan debt will surpass your annual income
but does
every
that make
year.
it bad to be a teacher?
What I'm saying is you got to know what you want, because it's a lot of people in different positions thinking that that's what they want. And then they realize they don't know how to pivot.
And then I feel like they should go higher when we think about the teachers, them being the first educators. They build the millionaires and the people that go off and achieve great things. They're the first people other than the parents that influence them. So I kind of reflect in this season as a parent and happen to be a full-time teacher to my child. I realize like how we discredit teachers in the field day to day. And when they talk about the pay, it's not enough, because they're preparing the people that's going off to be the great millionaires and making the highest pay. Why shouldn't they be?
Why
paid
shouldn't
better?
why shouldn't they go after their dreams? Why shouldn't they let their why be known? And so to the graduate of 2020, the 2020 graduate who just graduated during Corona, you might be looking at your life like, oh my gosh, what's about to go on? Because it's looking a little bleak in some, you know, views.
It is. Now, we talked about that on Why We Stopped Dreaming. A young lady reflected on 2020 and how people graduating.
Really?
And they got to keep their dream alive.
You got to. So you got to go hard. When it talk about how high or low, let me tell y'all something. Whatever it is that you want and that you visualize, is yours. But you have to see that every day. So for those that are listening, if you're a parent, if you, whoever you are, millennial, Generation X, shout out to the 40-year-olds. That's me. Go hard for whatever it is you want. And
low is, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, just like go hard for what you want and have that legacy language. Because if you're not having that positive reinforcement, you'll be like, man, I can't do that.
Right. And when we think about low, like y'all said, we already think about the negative side of it, but it's a positive side of it, because as you was sitting here talking, I'm able to like kind of build my brain together, because we was all over the place. I think I had to go to a low place today, just pushing through. When you going into business and you building something, you got to be able to take those rough roads, and when life throw you lemon, be able to make lemonade out of it. Throw you lemons, you feel me? And pushing through days when you don't want to do it, but you know, okay, I gotta step out there. It might look low to other people, like, okay, you're gonna still go out there and work, and it's a family crisis going on, you're gonna still do this, do that. But that's about pushing through and still making it happen. And I think about this platform media, like you were reflecting on before we air, the evolution of where the media is taking off. Down south media, particularly, how it's evolving. And when I think about being in this media, we're aiming to go high, but it really takes you to a low place, because while you sitting on top, you still have to play an underdog where you got to reach out to people, make them think you need them, but you have to be able to put that cap on and be a recruiter. And it's a part about humbling yourself. And it's not that we need each other. Let's be a team. And as we build a platform, it's not about just one person shining. It's about trying to take my light and shine it so everybody else can see their way through something that's a very dark, shallow road. Everybody doesn't make it. Many are calling, but few are chosen. And as we build this platform in the media of down south, you realize that you're going to pour your cup and you have to be able to fill it up when you walk in it.
Gotta be full.
So
So your overflow could be a blessing to other people.
That part.
That's a lot of people ask me, oh, what happened to the magazine with Good News Schools? And I was like, you know what? My cup wasn't running over. Matter of fact, it had drops in it.
We have to learn how to refill it, because when we pour into other people, they don't have enough juice to pour back into us. And then when you go out
or that may not even be their agenda. So you got to be ready for that. That's why you have to have overflow, because it don't matter if it come back or not. Baby, that was my extra. Let's go.
Hey, look, you heard that, Keita? That was deep. I like the way you put that. That's real. And being in this industry, you got to be able to know how to rejuvenize yourself, like rebuild your own self up and not depend on others, because they ain't working with the same thing. You got the tools. They might not have the same utensils you got to prepare the meal. You feel me?
Ooh, that oodles and noodles with the ketchup or the spaghetti.
All
Look,
that stuff.
have y'all ever considered, when in regards to the topic, have y'all ever considered what reinventing yourself is all about and why that's an important part in looking at your dreams in regards to how high or how low you're willing to go? Sometimes we have to reinvent ourselves, and that can be painful.
Ooh, that's deep. I think that reflects on just like coming into the show today, because I feel like as you're building a platform, you have to give things a try. You know what I'm saying? And being a boss sometimes could be a good thing, then sometimes it weighs off and being a bad thing where everybody say they want to be in charge. You got to know when it's time to recreate yourself, like you say. If this isn't working, and sometimes change and transition is hard. What's up? Hello. And as a business woman or man, you have to know when it's seasons to rebrand yourself, link up with the other generations, whether it's younger or older, and be able to pull from them and create and make your vision come to life. You know
and how to grow. Like, that's one thing that that I was challenged with, and I'm still getting there, like growing. That could be a challenge.
Definitely.
As far as like the going the high and the going the low, I also, it becomes scary when it's like something that you really want. You want it so bad, and you're like, I'm willing to do whatever it takes. And then you have people around you who see like how bad you really want something, so they get to feeling like they can take advantage of like how bad you want something. You start having people around you trying to take advantage of you.
Because they know you want something so bad, so they're gonna try to throw something so they can get something from you. But man,
I think we as women, we struggle with that heavy in the industry, especially attractive women. You feel me? Because they think that all you know is beauty. What they say, blondes, like kind of like bird brands, are like fashion, whatever. They treat a beautiful woman like a blonde,
like she doesn't have a brain of her own.
Yeah, like they despise of the knowledge or whatever they have to offer, and they just look at the image and the beauty in them, and instead of crediting them for what they're representing,
their talent, what they bring to the table.
Yeah, they immediately try to go after them on a sexual, like men try to think with they other head versus the one sitting on the top of their body and think they can make their move in that way, and they
that's why the
discredit
topic's
themselves to a beautiful woman, because we got the more to offer than just looks.
But that's why the topic is so dope, because it's been plenty women and men. Don't get it twisted. Men are pursued too. You know, there's some sugar mamas out there.
Yeah, that's true.
and
they do gold diggers. Like trying to get out the niggas before they got out.
And you got to figure out how high or low you gonna go, man. It's so many memes out there. Yeah. Y'all could go to town on that, but
Truly.
That question is out there. How high or low are y'all willing to go?
We got our special guest and hot feature chiming in us today. With us today, Chaos from Grind Mode. Respect the grind. Respect my grind. Mr. Chaos rocking with us. And we was talking about how high or low are you willing to go to achieve your dreams, your goals. Dreams or goals, however you want to chime in on it.
Okay.
What do you think about that? That's our hot topic discussion for the day is
Okay.
the
That's
risk
the-
people take, whether they willing to go low or high, you know? How high or low are you
it's-
willing to go?
It's an individual thing. You feel me? I don't even think you can generalize it because everybody hunger different. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people
Truly.
like for the people that probably don't know who I am, I'm one of the members from Grind Mode. You brought you the I'm So High record.
And we're going to get to you a little bit later on in the segment on Entrepreneur Entrees and let you talk
Oh, okay.
about and let the people know. But go ahead, tell them.
But as far as the highs and lows, it just depends on that person. Because I mean, I had a lot of people that started with me. They not with me. You know what I'm saying? Some of them cut their own self off because I saw something big. You know what I'm saying? No different than the Grind Mode situation. It was 8 members in the beginning. A lot of people don't know
Was
that.
it?
Yeah, but I had to diddy that. I had to cut a lot of people's neck. Like, listen, you got baby mama issues. You come in the studio late all the time. You going to jail too much. Like, you ain't putting no money in the studio
That's
time.
deep.
Like,
That's what you go through when
Yeah.
you're a group, when you got a team
Right.
on you.
That's like when you're trying to push for anything that you truly want, like surrounding yourself with the right people is going to be key to you getting to where you, because those people could be like that anchor that keeps you from getting to where you need to go. Sometimes, but I know it's hard, like, especially if they're like family and friends and loved ones that are trying to be along for that ride, but they're holding you back. Having to sever that tie sometimes is so hard. So that's awesome. Usually, like, look, you ain't going where I'm going, like, cut, snip.
And it wasn't no disrespect toward them. Some, ain't take it like that, but like I had a vision. You know what I'm saying? Like
truly.
That's the
I ain't,
word.
I'm from South Dade County. I'm from
What did he say?
I'm from South.
He was a visionary.
Yeah,
had
like
a-
I'm
no,
from South
he said he
Dade
had a
County,
vision.
and one thing about it, like I started from like shit, like for real. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, and
Got
like
out the mud.
yeah, like so I saw through traveling and doing my thing in the street, like I wanted more. You know what I'm saying? And they just wanted to be in Richmond Heights. They wanted to be in Goulds, P. Ryan, Florida City. Like I wanted to be in Dubai.
Right.
I wanted to be in Canada. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Ain't
wanted
nothing
to.
wrong with that.
Yeah, but it was certain steps, and them baby goals led into the medium goals and the 5-year goals. You hear me? So
And when we think about high and low, I feel like you got to be willing to go low when you say your vision. When you know what you saw bringing, it was your vision and you was trying to bring it to life, and you brought people around that you thought had a creative mind like yourself to bring it alive, and then you look up, you realize it's not going as planned. You have to be able, as a leader, entrepreneur, whatever you're doing, to be able to go low, and that means being able to let people go,
Yeah.
dismiss them or walk away and not have hard feelings. You know what I'm saying? I think everybody has to be able to have that type of skin dealing in the industry to be able to accept rejection. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And when people say no, God say no, and keep pressing. So it's like how low you willing to go?
Right.
Are you willing to go through those lows to get to that high? You feel
Right.
me? And that's what I want to say on the top as you was talking. You said about your vision, because sometimes you have to be willing, like you was speaking on, Toya, to recreate yourself.
I was just about to
You
go
know what
there,
I'm saying?
which is so
Right.
true.
Every day you have the opportunity to do better. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If I may say something, man, I done seen Chaos from Caribbean, 200 Boulevard, Caribbean.
Grinding.
Like, he is, to me, the epitome of a down south visionary,
That
because
part.
all you could look at the timeline on any social media platform, or if you know him or have seen him, you already know what it is.
Truly.
So he stayed consistent with what he wanted. And I think in regards to people that are coming up down here, you need to look at examples and look and see what people are
Who
willing.
has already done it?
Yeah, who have how low or what they've been willing to be cutthroat about and have boundaries
'Cause
around what's important.
I definitely, not to
Yeah,
mean
I
to cut you
appreciate
off.
that.
I think this generation got it easy. They ain't gonna have to grind the way we saw Chaos growing up. When I talked to you a few years ago, I don't know if you remember, I'm the same person who was on the phone with talking about a magazine, because
Right.
I remember Grind Magazine. Like
Right.
when the Lord gave me the idea and the vision before even getting this idea to do no cap, it was an idea the Lord gave me, and He's gonna give you the people to see that vision through. And then a couple of months later, my sister's like, go holler at TP. They doing it, and they looking for people.
That's dope.
You know what I'm saying? So God gonna provide the resources when He gives you a vision and a plan. You got to be willing to go low or high. Cause I ain't want to reach out to nobody. I'm like, okay, I thought it was my idea. I ain't know other people doing podcasts.
Right. And we spoke, and we spoke. But then, you know, sometimes other people go before you and they go through their love, whatever. Yeah.
She I met her along the journey. Speaking to you, somebody handed me Good News Gurus, and I was like, okay, somebody already doing it in this season.
Right.
And I watched Chaos do it when I was a jit growing up, just hanging out at Richmond Heights. Every corner you went, you was pressing. When we even started doing our music in the industry, we got it. Ain't that's the dude from Richmond Heights? We had Spring Gleam on the stage with all the celebrities. We been there, and we looked up Chaos on the stage up there too with Rick Ross, all them niggas. You out there, you pressed and you made it happen. It wasn't no followers on Facebook. It wasn't no Instagram.
But I remember the conversation with you, not to cut you off, but I'm gonna tell you why.
Right?
Nah, I do remember, but I'm gonna tell you what's crazy. Like sometimes, like even when I talk to people, I try to hear your vision, and then I try to find a pocket that there's a void. See, Grind Magazine, I seen the Ozone magazine, and I was working close with Julia Beverly. I was in coalition with Benzino at the time when he was owning. A lot of people don't understand. They just thinking I'm a nigga from the Heights, but I always put myself in position. Yeah, but my thing is, a lot of people like just say you coming behind me to do something else. I'm saying, damn, that shit finna end. You know what I mean? I was like, damn, the Ghouls thing, I see what you're trying to do, but do a DVD or do a podcast or do a vlog so you ain't got to spend what I spent. Because I spent a lot of money
I took what you told me, and it was great great feedback because it helped me not waste time.
Right.
And then I
tried
realized,
to give you time back.
You did. And I realized when you said everything virtual now, don't waste your money, don't do this and that.
Come on.
Build it in a different way. Gravitate with the time, be able to recreate yourself. And it took for people like you to go out there and do it and watch times change to be able to tell people like myself, okay, that was hot, but not for this era.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I took that information and it brought me 3 years later to where I was at. I focused on what was important to me.
I'm proud of you.
And
That's
the
dope.
magazine wasn't my foremost, but I realized, okay, podcasts are popping. So take that same media and things you want to talk about, illustrate, and
everybody don't take it like that. Because I'm going to tell you why. If it's a nigga right now that could probably rap, and he gonna get out of prison after 15 years, be like, I'm finna press up 1,000 CDs. I'm like, bruh, I'm trying to save you some time, nigga. Go on Spotify. And then a nigga look at me crazy like, oh, that nigga just hate my nigga. I was about to press up a mixtape.
Because they feel like the world is riding, they wagging, they popping off of social media, and they think they on their way.
No, but he trying to save them and give them the reinvention. So
yeah, I'm trying to tell you, like, so I didn't block her. I just was trying to save you time and money. So you ain't spend what I spent. Because I spent thousands.
And that was the best information I got from anybody. And the fact that I was able to reach you and I look at you as a major achiever from our community. I watched y'all when y'all sat on 106 and Park. Like, right? Didn't y'all get on there and y'all had an interview? That's dope, dog. That's days we dream about coming from the mud, the ground, the hood, is being on a media platform sitting top where everybody can see you at. You shine. You achieve those. And I just want to acknowledge you. Like, people see you, see what you've done.
And you were touchable. Like, touchable. Like if I seen you somewhere,
I can reach you.
I can DM you, or we had a conversation, and that's real. Sometimes you don't have that in your community when someone has evolved or made it to where they want to achieve and what they want to do. Yeah. So thank you for doing that.
But I didn't have it though. You know what I mean? So that's why I gave it away. Like traveling, being in New York, LA, Chicago, shit like that. I was just coming back home to give y'all shit for free. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I gave away too much shit for free, but I don't care though. I go to the grave cool with that.
Of the industry, like it's in that goal, particularly in the music industry. Do you feel like that's something, or like what would you tell people about that experience? With you saying you gave away too much, like you feel me? That
in a sense, sometimes I do, but then I ain't bitter about it because sometimes, like a moment like this, us having this little fellowship, sometimes you don't know what somebody going through. This a high for me. You know what I'm saying? Here it is. No different than like right now, like this week alone, it's hard for me to be around people because like a year ago this week, my baby mama died.
Wow.
Of my oldest son. So it's like, I'm still like, it's a lot of shit I don't put on Instagram, you know, and this from my oldest son. So it's like talking to him, he in Japan right now. Like I'm old. I just play like I'm young. but I'm old as shit. You
Look,
know
you
what
so
I'm saying?
bad.
Yeah, so it's like there is some highs and lows to it. So it's like, damn, it's crazy because I've given away so much, and sometimes a nigga don't get credit. That's cool
be
because
like
the
that.
real ones know what you've done for them. You know what I mean? And I'm here to plant seeds to make it easier for
on.
everybody else. You know what I'm saying?
And that's something I said earlier that was spoken to me. I shared it before you came in about some things you're gonna start, and the Lord told me you're not gonna finish it. And I'm like, what do you
Right.
mean, God? I'm gonna go get it. I ain't giving up. I'm gonna finish it to the end. But
Right.
when I rested on that dwell, it was because I was preparing you for the next generation.
Right.
That might not been where you thought you were supposed to be there, but I had somewhere better. Like I see you fit in the govern in the be at. You know what I'm saying? So
You're not gonna get it all.
yeah, we
Martin Luther King be so excited to be here, have a podcast right now. Can you
His
imagine
son,
if Malcolm
his
X
knowledge, you know what
had
I'm
a
saying?
radio show, like a morning show, Malcolm X? You understand what I'm
Man.
saying? Like them niggas had
Truly.
like a lot to say. The Bob Marleys had a lot
and
to
they
say, and
getting
they not here.
acknowledged now that they gone.
But they
felt the hate.
they planted so many
planted
seeds.
That.
Nipsey Hussle planted a lot of seeds.
That was
Yeah.
content.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, then he
Like,
starts popping his name until he died. Like,
right. Like we probably wouldn't have had a Nipsey if it weren't for a Tupac. And so on and so forth. So like I appreciate every step of the way. Like, you know what I'm saying? I get paid in a lot of different ways. And sometimes it's not monetary. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
And do-
man,
like-
you just inspired me real quick. You know how you just said Tupac, then Nipsey,
Right.
then the next generation is coming. We have like 4 generations of media up in
Right
here
here.
right now.
and it
That's
takes
dope.
you back to the.
And in regards to Good News Schools and not knowing how to grow, and something that just started it. Good News Schools found me. I didn't say, "Oh, I'm gonna do this."
Right.
You
Oh,
know?
really? Because I thought that was something you originated.
It started out as a flyer, and by the time I made a flyer because I wanted to let people know, hey, you could go get your light bill paid here, do
Right.
this, do that.
That.
I got a couple of them.
Love it.
Like a while ago. I thought it was dope.
I have one too.
And so imagine if I had to stop because I didn't know how to grow because I was
Right.
doing everything.
Right.
And so now listening to you, already talking to Salita and even TP, who was featured in there. I love featuring people from like down south, but now in my head, I'm like, who can I look for in the next generation to show them what I know and have them run with
It
it?
came
Right.
when you called to support me in my journey, in what I'm launching. And you get what I'm saying? The Lord gonna give you the resources. Not
See?
giving myself no credit, but you were supporting my vision. When you call, like, it's hard to keep posting your stuff and people, you know you making money in real life. I don't care about me. They ain't gonna like me because they just gonna not like it. But I make my money, so it ain't making me mad. But I was like, I'm gonna post because I have to take advantage of gravitating and recreating myself with this timing. And if I don't post, I'm gonna fall in the shadows of like just being known in one area. So much turf to cover. And then when I posted, you and a few others reached out and supported the hustle. Y'all was pointing to my vision, and it was great to know that it made you waking up and realize like we was watching you and you inspired us. You legendary in our book. You did it.
That's so crazy.
We able to remind each other and give that support that we feel like down south is definitely lacking. You know, they skip
Man.
over each other and support up north, everywhere else, and then we forget about the people right on.
It's still dope to watch things come about that you ain't even know you was gonna bless. Like Tupac don't know Nipsey, but Nipsey speak highly of him. Like they was in a gang together. Like
Truly.
like, but look how many people he blessed, and then it's gonna be another Obama. It's gonna be another Tupac. It's gonna be another Biggie Smalls, and that's what's dope. Like you just put out as much as you can. And just like you just know it's gonna get back. Like I always tell this one story. I'm gonna try to be fast. Like I was in a strip club one time. My grandma always be like, "Oh, why you always?" And then people from my church too, like, "Why you always in the strip club?" I'm about to fuck you up. Watch this. So now, watch. I'm about to fuck you up because that's what I'm saying. You can't never let, especially church people, you can't let them guide you on where you need to be
Truly.
at because God mean for us to
He
be
gonna
everywhere.
put
Watch
us
this.
on.
Talk.
Now I'm in the strip club one night. I see this nigga, he gangster as shit. He shooting me the little unit, and I'm like, niggas know I fight, so I'm like, damn, I know a fight when I see one. I was wrong. Watch this. Dog told me to come to him. I'm with my little goonies. This was years ago, and he said, "Dog, let me tell you something." Tears started rolling down his face. He said, "Dog, you had a TV show, and I still keep a show on Video Mix, and people don't know." That Video Mix is showed at all 3 jails, TGK, Metro West, and Stockade. Okay. And here it is, he was locked up. He said, "Dog, every time you did your show, and this is the first time I really listened to you, He said, you always end your show by saying, whatever you're going through, no matter how bad it is, give it one more day. He said, dog, I was going to kill myself that night. I gave myself one more day. Me and my mama had been through it. I was about to get released, and I didn't know what to do. I was going to be homeless. I had shamed my family because I had robbed somebody, shot somebody, all this crazy shit. He gets out the next day. He said, I gave it one more day, and I got a letter from my mother, and she apologized for everything, and she ain't even apologetic. She said, man, I messed up raising you. When you get home, you know what I'm saying, you got a place to stay. Long story short, that man got married. He had a child.
Wow.
He said, dog, everybody was blocking you out, playing cards, bullshitting in jail. I was the only one that looked at, and it's like you was talking to me in jail. And I say, stuff like that make me go hard as fuck.
Yeah.
With what I do. And here it is. I wasn't even gonna go to the strip club that night. You know what I'm saying? It was on some business shit. But here it is. That's why I say you can't
You
never
was on assignment.
It's 100 things that happened to me that night. And we both grown ass niggas, tears in our eyes. Like, and I say, damn, you serious? He say, bro, I almost took my life that night, dog, because I was tired, bro. Like, I was tired of being here, dog. And he say, dog, my nigga, thank you, my nigga. He got a job doing construction with his uncle. He got married and then had a little girl. I say, damn, that's crazy.
That's
That's
crazy.
beautiful.
You know, a lot of us find ourselves in situations where you want to quit, you want to give up on what you're doing, but God is using you for someone else. Like your story isn't just for you, your testimony isn't just for you, it's
Right.
for somebody else, even if it's just that one person. It's like you thought that you were just on there talking, but your words saved somebody's life.
Yeah, that's scary. That's scary. And that's why they say, you know, life and death is in the tongue. That's
Come
serious.
on. We just said that.
That's really serious, man. Like, so I joke, I clown, I still do my thing, but you know, a nigga try to put as much positive out there because you don't know where it's gonna land at. Whether you got 60,000 followers, 60,000 views, or 6.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got to treat it all the same because everybody life valuable.
Come
you know what I'm
on.
saying? So you just never know where it's gonna land at or who you gonna inspire.
That's true.
Can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
Who inspired you?
Man, listen, just surviving what I survived. I'm a heroin baby.
Okay.
Both my parents died when I was young. They was on drugs. And I was born up in Poughkeepsie, New York. I was raised in Miami, but I'm from New York originally.
And your grandma raised you from the
Yeah,
heights.
I'm a real Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He fight too much over here in Polk Projects. So I came down here to chill. Then my daddy died. You know what I'm saying? On drugs. Stayed down here a little bit longer. My mama was supposed to come down and she died. And then my little brother was 10 months. You know what I'm saying? So I had to raise my little brother as a child. I'm raising a child, but then I got into other things, sold a little dope, did some things I ain't proud of, but then I learned a lot out there in the world. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm just inspired by a lot of people, the failures, the losers, the outcasts. Like I'm into the people that y'all like, well not y'all, but maybe
People
some of the
society
listeners,
would reject,
yeah, they
like the
ridicule them.
underdogs.
You know what I mean? Like
That part.
I think that's why a lot of strippers love me because it's like when I used to do shows, like I don't know why, like we always end up in the strip club. I always have a press circle before I go on stage, and I shit you
That's
not, like
funny.
every time I start with just my team, my cameraman, my security, here it is. It be like 9 of us, and it be. I just keep praying because I'm seeing all these naked women with thongs making the circle bigger. And then it amazes me how many of those women have been raped, child molested, they homeless, they going through all this stuff, and the church turn their back on them.
Yeah.
Because they feel like either some of the men are too weak to go evangelize in there.
And
So-
that's real. You gotta
so,
know your
yeah.
calling and know that when you walking in a purpose, like it's bigger than yourself. Like
Facts.
I'm about kingdom building. You know what I'm saying? Anything that I do, it gotta gravitate back to building the house of the Lord. And God want us to profit in business and make money.
Right.
So when you say you felt like you had gave out, you didn't. Whatever you gave, you gonna give it back. You feel me?
Right.
When you give out, you just throwing, like you say, planting.
It was
seeds.
extra.
Yeah,
your cup was full.
But then at the same time, it was a learning experience for you to give that to me as an entrepreneur, a businesswoman coming up. I won't give out so much because you eventually, I get it from both standpoints, how you said. You feel like, okay, I might have gave out too much, but you didn't lose. You gained so much wisdom and knowledge and things along the process that you probably haven't realized it because. But I'm taking that and knowing as a businesswoman, I'm not going to give out too much to give people. I'm going to give them just enough and then make them want
They're
to come
on top
for the
of
rest.
to
You know
add
what I'm
on top
saying?
of what you saying, like you know what's so crazy? That's the flesh talking from me, from a manly standpoint. Like damn, sometimes you feel like you gave out too much. Women feel that way when you done been with Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mikey.
Yeah.
You like damn. But then the lessons that you gain. But I'm gonna leave you with this. Here it is. Like no matter how much you give, a wise man said this: if you gave out all like $1 million to everybody on the planet, you know that money will end up right back in the hands of the same people. You know why? Because the drug addicts, they gonna run it back to the dope boy more. You know, the people that don't know money management, they gonna put it back in the bank or bad investments. So it's still gonna end back in most of the people's hands that was rich anyway.
It's funny. I've read like a little quote. It wasn't a quote. It was like a meme, and someone said that if they gave us our reparations, like gave black people what they were due, that we'd still give it back to the white man at the end of the day.
We doing it right now.
To Gucci,
We doing it right now.
All the money right on that.
Facts.
It's
We
the
doing it
same
right
thing
now.
with when you win a lotto. I think it's a statistic that 95% of people that win the lotto go bankrupt.
It's up there.
Like,
Or they die younger.
man,
Like I'm like, how in the world? And I don't work in a casino, so I know that to be true. I don't watch people actually win 80,000, 60,000. And me and you saying, nigga, I would have had 80 more podcasts. But somebody who not business minded, they gonna be like, oh, if I got 80,000, now I'm gonna get 80 million. And they chance it wrong. You know what I mean?
Sad thing,
So what you
people
saying
think
is a
that
fact.
money changes people, but it really amplifies who you are.
True.
right.
So to apply that with knowledge, I could give everybody everything that I gave you. 100 women right now that say they hustle, and you know most of them not gonna do nothing, but you did. That's how y'all got here. T did. That's why he here. You understand what I'm saying? So it's a reason that all us stay in each other. Because all of us done cross each other path a million times. Not even just because we stay in the same vicinity, but because we got similar goals and visions. You understand what I'm saying? So
And those the people that you tip your hat off to, the people that you could say you saw them along the way grinding, trying to get it just like
Facts.
you. And when you get there, you have much more respect knowing that they press their way. Nobody ain't get them nothing. And with that being said, that's why we like this part of the show, Entrepreneur Entrees.
Oh, okay.
And you are a special guest, our hot feature, where we're going to jump into your interview. And Entrepreneur Entrees is pretty much where we bring other young bosses to the table, talk about what they eating and how they eating and what they eating on. Pretty much tell us about your business, your hustle, your grind, what you got going on, and where you see yourself in the next couple of weeks, few years, the near future. And we know you from Grind Mode. Tell us a little bit about Respect My Grind. I see you got your shirt and your stuff on. Tell them who you is and how you rocking, what you eating.
Grind Mode started off with just me, and Grind has been always been my nickname. Everybody call me Chaos because I cause chaos.
Oh, that's where
But-
you get that nickname from?
Yeah, that was my mama nickname for me. But Grind is who I am. So I've owned Grind Magazine. I had Grind Time TV when I was doing 1 million viewers a month. It was unheard of.
So you don't doing Grind TV anymore?
That was years ago. That was before YouTube and all that.
Really? Okay.
That was a test market, Empress Raw. A couple of us did that on the beach. This was before Grind Mode, but I did Grind Time TV. Then linked up with Video Mix, started doing Grind Mode 101, interviewing a lot of up and coming artists, and that Grind name always stayed with me. So then the Grind Mode situation happened with it was 7 or 8 artists. Mind you, I was in Dunk Riders first. A lot of people don't know that because Trick
You was on Dunk Riders?
Yeah, Trick
We
is
had-
the OG.
A lot of people don't know about Dunk Riders. When we was a music artist, Dunk Riders was looking at us, but we never even knew that's Trick's a separate production from
Right.
Slip and Slide, right?
Right. That's his own
we heard of
thing.
Dunk.
But it's
Yeah.
it was 11 people in there. Briscoe was in it too. It was a bunch of us, but it was just money wasn't right. I was like, nah.
So it doesn't
I'm
exist anymore?
No, Dunk Riders exists. I think the label exists, and then that's between Berg and Fella and Trick or whatever. But
You know what's hot? Not to cut you off. When we had featured there when they was checking us out, when we was in the Down South Apollo show. Keita, you remember we did the Down South Apollo show and we had got booed off the stage.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
But that was so hot, and it was Dunk Riders was out. There was a lot of local celebrities, artists came out, and that was a lady named Miss Elegant who had through that.
Yes.
Right.
She, you know Miss Elegant.
yeah, because her son rap too.
He is. I see him from time to time.
I ain't
What's his
seen
name?
him in a while.
He
I
be
think
in
Step Easy.
Step Easy, yeah.
Right.
He be down south. I see him not in the music, but I see him.
Right.
But that's something that needs to come back and throw that
Right.
for the local. Everybody want to be a star. You feel me? Give them time to shine. We need to do something like that, TP.
It's other ways to do it, but I mean, did the music thing, learned a lot about music business because I had a $1.2 million deal because of the whole grind mode situation we had. I'm So High, we was number 1 in Florida, then number 1 in the South, and then we got a deal with Universal Republic. Ecstasy popped off. That helped catapult it, but it was a lot of breaches in that contract that made me go from streets
So
to
Ecstasy is
millionaire
what
to
a-
almost homeless. You know what I'm saying? And
shit.
starting all over. So, learn that business. That's the whole point. That's the whole moral of me telling you that. Like, it could change like this. I didn't blow money in the strip club or had 1,000 kids or nothing like that. It was just bad business and still taking care of a lot of people too. You know what I mean? Because I didn't just get on and, okay, go buy me a chain. Now I got like 20 brothers and sisters. Like, my
Gotta
daddy
take
was
care of the
busy.
family.
My daddy was busy. That boy was busy. That boy wasn't pulling out nowhere. That was, you my baby
So
mama.
do
Just
you
pointing out.
guys have any?
Pity the fool. Like that.
The island people.
Is there any like
What
when you lunch like that and do make it and some of your sons go big? Is there any royalties that come?
Yeah,
from
I
the
still
albums
get
and stuff
publishing.
like-
I still every 3 months I get paid. You know what I'm saying?
So that's
Because I'm a
off, like, the
writer.
album?
Yeah. So I mean, I wrote for a good amount of people. And ghostwriting, I don't really want to say no names, but I stay writing. Fast forward to now, like I've did a lot. Like I manage artists. I got an artist, Sadie Hendrix. He's like, just
I feel
dropped
like
a
I heard
mixtape.
that name.
Yeah, he got the Low Key song. If you Google it, it'll
Sadie
come up.
Hendrix, we gotta check it.
Seddy, Seddy, like Hendrix with an N in it. We got him out of Jacksonville, real knucklehead, wild but talented, and did a joint venture with DJ Drama. So I got that going on. I got the Respect My Grind TV is just me going back to Video Mix. A lot of people in jail was like, bro, when
Bring
you
it
going
back."
back live? Like, we
But
miss you in here. Why? We got a
That's
couple more
something
months.
to get
Like,
connected with because I was working
Yeah.
in the prison and that's all they do is watch TV. So
They
if
stuck
you're
on
not
it.
streaming on media to find out what channels are streaming in the prison, those are followed viewers alone. That's a big.
Like that's
platform to
uncharted
influence.
territory that I love
Yeah.
because some numbers can't be allocated. You know what I mean? Like you can't do the
Yeah.
analytics on tens of thousands of fans that I got in there.
Yeah.
They ain't got nothing to do with grind mode. They got something to
Truly.
do with like my own fan base. So I left the live
And those
situation
are the
alone.
forgotten people. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right. So Respect My Grind is just basically I got like a list of like about 30 some artists from like South Florida, and I put different artists with artists. Like that's why T had seen me a couple weeks ago with Ill Matt. So I have like Ill Matt do a whole song to a
I
beat.
love him.
And where's Illmatt
then-
from? I hear
He
him
from
a
Goose.
lot. Okay.
Goose, Naranja. Which one?
I think it's
Goose.
Goose.
Yeah, I think
No?
he from Goose.
I see him in the
Ill
Naranja.
Matt.
Il Matt and his cousin Shannon. I don't know his street name.
But
I heard of him.
he's been on the episode. I haven't dropped him. I'm not dropping him until like November. So like I think it's just something different. This is the first time I've ever even spoke about this. I speak to the people that's on like my team, my shooting team, and my management team about it, but I've never been publicly speaking about it because niggas be stealing ideas.
Truly.
So like
Thank you for blessing, but
Yeah.
real talk, that particular artist or just seeing people from down south evolve and get what they want,
right.
that shit is irreplaceable. Like that's what needs to be in the classroom, to be honest.
Right.
And highlight it. So
Right.
me listening to you, like I'm like, man, that need to be somewhere on some content. Like
Truly.
Take it and work it.
yeah,
I ain't emailing you no invoice. Whatever you could use in this conversation,
Right.
like, you know what I'm saying? That's my offering to y'all. Like, just take it and use it, man. Don't let these conversations be dead weight.
That's
You
right.
know what I'm saying? Like, I don't
Truly.
like wasting my time, and y'all don't neither.
Right.
You don't know shit. We could be out of here yesterday.
It
You know what I'm
was,
saying?
you had told me, it was like, is the money part. That's what I took. I'm trying to make money. You was like, look, if you're trying to sell this and that, I took that and okay, key thing. So everything you say, it means something.
Solid.
It's
Got
easier.
knowledge.
It's easier to do it if it ain't about no
Virtual.
money. Like even like this, but I mean, figure out how you can make some money.
We definitely, me, you, and Toya, we got to conversate if that's something she want to do in the near future, Toya, because we were
Definitely.
talking about, trying to bring it back to life, and numbers is power. So
Yeah, I'm all over the place though. To be honest, like I got my online store with
Right,
being
said
there
you
and
sell
Pactor.
stuff.
Yeah,
That's it.
like when you see a lot of the shirts that I wear, it's like damn, I either design them or somebody from my team. I originally started because one of my 7-year-old has autism, so my son is like super delayed. Like he's 7 years old, but he'd have been all over this shit like 100 times. Like So yeah, like he's that's my baby though. That's my heart. Like he opened me up to like you gotta have patience as a parent, but when you got a child with a disability, you gotta have like 100 pounds of patience. And then I love, like, I just feel like sometimes like that autism shit been a blessing in a sense, because us black people in our community, we don't know much about it. And then I've did so much in these autistic schools and shit because he goes to them and these niggas run from a regular child. So with autism, oh nigga, I'm out of here. Like I ain't even trying to talk to my baby mama.
In our community, we don't really accept like diagnosis. We'd be like, nah, he's just bad. But that's just that's not
they don't
it.
get them the treatment and the therapies that they need.
No,
really,
we don't believe in it because we're like, oh, Jesus can fix it.
Thank
and
you.
there's certain levels of illness or impairments or mental whatever. We don't embrace it. We don't embrace
those people to show us how to deal with it.
Yeah,
I do.
It's a spirit.
That's what started the whole being impact. It started on that because I want to wear urban shirts that I ain't see like a lot of the white people when I did like autism speaks.
Be an impact.
Yeah, Be an Impact, like BEAN impact.com.
So you it's the store is like your line. You're selling your line, or you create shirts for people. Like someone can come in bulk and ask you to print on shirts for them.
We got a print shop up north in like Hollywood, so we could do whatever you want. But like a lot of stuff is like tailor-made to specifically made. Just it started out from autism, but then I got like a lot of black stuff on there. Relationship goals, shirts and shit like that. So
That's what's up.
that's that. But then I still sell sex toys too. That's for another segment.
Okay, I
heard
that.
Before you go to that,
a whole nother
you
topic.
said it's an actual store. You only can go online. Like you can shop
It's online. Yeah.
What's the website?
It's
Shout it out for our viewers.
It's BEANimpact.com. They ain't got nothing to do with the sex toys though. Don't be going down there looking for no vibrators on
So
Impact.
the sex toys,
You
how
gonna
did
be
you get off
disappointed.
into that?
I got it. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you why.
Because
Because Grandma has a huge female fan base, and then when women like got my mixtapes and stuff like that, they know I'm like the freaky one. So I tried to like when I started doing like vlogs and stuff like that, and then I had a radio show too. Right before I got my radio show, it was a couple sex websites. They be like, nigga, you be talking freaky as hell on Twitter, like, and women like eat it, like they be retweeting their ass off. So it was a couple of sex websites that reached out, even Pornhub did at that time. And they was like, look, this one I was dating somebody else, and they was like, if we mail you some sex toys, how would you feel about like having it at your ladies' night? Because I had a ladies' night with Trick's father, right? Down at the club, and I was like, you know what, that's that ain't my thing. Like I don't want nothing to do with that. Like I don't want to be opening no box of, you know what I'm saying, wee-wees around here. So you know what I'm saying? Like I was uncomfortable. But then I told my ex at that time, and she was like, listen, I told everybody at PRC that you was gonna get. I just told them because she worked at PRC.
That's an
Yeah,
instant.
and everybody was like, Chaos got sex toys, and I was like, wait a minute, hold on. And I'm always about money. So I put it on a flyer. I told them to mail me like a box or whatever. They shot me like $300. They mailed me some vibrators and stuff, but I say don't mail me no penises because that's gonna make me uncomfortable. I don't want to see no wee-wee in a box. You heard me? So I opened it and it was like vibrating panties and sensual stuff and real romantic stuff.
Interesting.
And I gave raffles out all night long, and no woman would leave the club. I was like, me as a man, I'm being like, women use this like that. I was like, I always heard about it. I thought it was like old married women, not young, 19, 20, 25. Like the bell went off like, it's some money in this bitch.
Yeah.
So I said, when I get my next check, you know what I'm saying? When I was on the road, I ain't even tell Grandma. I just was like, you know what? I think, because I ain't want nobody knocking the, because niggas always got weird jokes. And I ain't got time for that. I saw the money in it. So I was like, damn, man, and then I started putting it on Instagram, and let me tell you something. No likes, no comments, women to jump right in the inbox. And they be like, look, do you do parties? My birthday coming out. Do you got any more to do? And I'm like, wait, what? So I start, not no more, but we can talk about it out the hell. But then I started researching and honestly started reading about, certain things. And I learned more about women's anatomy from it, and it interests me. So I was like, damn, we really ain't pleasing women like we thought.
Hello.
Something ain't right. So it just brought me into studying. So I got into that, made a hell of money. And women loved it because they was like, he's a heterosexual male that loves women, and he really gives a perspective on it. And then when I started going to the strip clubs, I would bring a bag with me, and then women knew. And
they
it was
had-
like,
you had to-
yo, you got that bag with you that you be having on Instagram? And the strippers be like, hold on, let me do 4 more dances. And I want the one that's $200. I'm like, wait, what? So I would,
Okay.
when I did parties, I would always tell like regular women that, like, listen, don't let these women in the strip club be freakier than y'all, because it's bigger they
taking
getting
some
your money. You understand? And they might be getting your man in the champagne room, because they be doing more than that. So, yeah, so it was a learning lesson, and I still got that website, downtheplease.com. But
Okay.
But how can-
downtheplease.com.
Do you remember the last time we seen each other? I don't know if
You bought a
remember.
vibrator for me. Don't be playing.
No, I did not buy.
Why you
vibrators.
blushing so much? You got it with you? Let me
If
see.
she did, she probably didn't
broke.
want us to know.
Nah, because you kicked your bag under the table. Y'all ain't see-
No, the last time.
Look, she got a lipstick on. I can tell. I can look at a woman right now and tell what she got.
Got what?
Yeah. Why your eyes got big?
I'm trying to understand what you got. What?
You got vibrating
They
panties
got
right now?
what? You gotta say
Look.
got what?
What?
Vibrating panties.
I can tell just what I use by just looking at you.
So
But tell me about the last discussion. Hold on, I'm cutting you off.
I never used one. But some people have messaged me some Groupon deals. But whatever. We saw each other at the Business Fellatio exotic poetry event.
Okay.
You remember?
It was a minute ago.
It was a minute ago when I was skinty.
Skin teeth.
We
Oh, okay.
Cutie, you're still beautiful.
Okay.
at a
Nah, I
At-
remember this.
yeah, man.
I remember this shirt too.
Let me see.
Oh God.
Let me see if she
That's my homie adult hoodies, man. At Mystic Joint.
Yeah.
Is this closed?
You know, because of Corona, I think they're not doing
I
like.
like that y'all erotic set, man.
So
That was Cain and Abel.
Yeah.
Cain is Abel.
Yeah,
Let me see you.
It was on David. So it was. I did
Okay,
a
you
business
looking good.
fellatio,
Right.
which is how to put your head in your business, right? And I did the networking mixer before the erotic poetry. So y'all, when the erotic poetry set started, I left, and David was like, "Why you leaving?" I was like, "I don't like erotic poetry. I'm single."
Oh, it was like, yeah, I get what you saying.
Nah. you
And
missed
I
out.
saw him there, and some other
I didn't
people.
know what erotic poetry was for a second. So I caught on it.
You got some
I was like,
upgrading
oh,
to do.
okay.
You got some real upgrading to do.
Look right.
How did we get here? We were so positive. It was almost Bible study. How the hell did we get
It
there?
still is.
Why
It
we got-
still is.
How we got the redtube.com? We about to start on streaming out our OnlyFans accounts or something.
But
No,
y'all was
well,
link-
that may have something to do with how high or how low.
Oh,
Somebody
okay.
willing to
Look,
go.
you willing to go?
I love right.
Yeah, we're lower.
Sucks we only got 2 minutes left, but we probably gonna have to all get together after the show.
Right? Need that for another segment.
Y'all missed this. Y'all
Look,
missed
how
that.
high would you go? Oh, who was saying that earlier? That was
How low can you go? How low?
Oh,
And look, and with that being said, we thank you for coming out and taking the time out of your day for being one of our hot features, because you are definitely you hot. You need the people need to know that who did it first. You're a real OG out here in this industry streets.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
And you a legendary lady, Miss
Yes.
Toya Bird. We
thank
appreciate
y'all.
you for rocking
Thank
with
you
us
so
this
much.
evening. And it's your girl, Liddy Lisa. And y'all already know. Right in my mouth. And it's your girl, Liddy Lisa. And y'all already know how I'm rocking with your girl, Nikita Love. And this is No Count MIA. And we keeping it real in the county a day. Y'all keep it tuned every Tuesdays from 6 or 6:30 whenever TP decide to get here. 7:30 p.m.
Oh shit.
We lit, and it's a wrap. Hey.
Hold up, wait a minute. Y'all thought I was finished. When I bought the Aston Martin, y'all thought it was rented. Flexing on him, some like Papa on the spinach. Double M, yeah, that's my team. Rose, the captain, I'm lieutenant. I'm the type can the mean
Freeze, I had